Little lighter attendance on this one.
Yeah, everyone's probably out practicing. Keith, putting the rules and stuff on the website, that's something that you have access of doing, or how does
Yeah.
that work? Yeah,
So
okay.
I can make the changes or I can give you
Okay.
access and then you can go in and make whatever changes you want.
I
So
mean, feel free.
I
It's
did
just
make a
the
note
what's that?
that the intentional walk up that because you read that, Elaine, but I don't think it was in there. But that's we just decided that.
Yeah. If you want to just send me a list of anything that needs to be
Yeah.
fixed, I'll just takes three
yeah, I
seconds
don't know
to read it.
Yeah.
why the 8U got all jumbled like that. That was interesting.
It's weird the reason so the PD the single PDF is such a mess. It's got rules intertwined all over the place.
Oh, really?
Uh, Yeah, like if you read through it, it's like here's some of the common ones and they're but it's not all of it. And then you try to go to the next one and there's some stuff in it that shouldn't be there. Like
Okay.
that's so I tried to break it apart, but
Okay.
obviously I dropped a few things by mistake.
Yeah. Even on the updated 2026 one, it was like that because I thought we went through all that and fixed
Yeah,
it.
that's the one I copied from. So
Really? Oh, weird.
yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. You want to give it another minute or so?
Probably would just light
Okay.
on people.
Those of you that are on now can look in the chat, and Keith or Sarah posted the link to our new website. Some of the rules have to get adjusted. We noticed in the last meeting they didn't transfer over properly, but you can play around if you have a minute or two or while we're talking.
Keith, this actually works awesome with you answering in the chat. Maybe
Yeah.
we need a third.
Yeah, and then when Keith was talking, I was trying to answer in the chat
Yeah.
too.
It's a team effort.
It
Yeah.
is.
The longer and longer I do this, it's just like, okay, becoming just second nature to remember half this stuff now.
Right.
And the killer is though, I was trying to remember which rules. Is it the baseball rule or the softball rule? Those
Yeah.
I've got both in my head.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I wouldn't be able to house. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right. What do you
All
think,
right.
Elaine?
Want to get rolling?
We got 15.
Okay. All right. My name is Elaine, and I'm the director for Athol Orange, and Sarah is the director for Ashburnham, and we have Keith here from Townsend Ashby to go over our website as we go through the rule after we go through the rules. So, like I said, it's in the link. It's a new website that we had to set up, and we'll just go through the rules for 12U and 16U, or the general rules first. We'll go on. She's on the website sharing that now. So we'll go into the general rules. I think those were okay. And yeah, and I'll just read. If you want to follow along, that's great. Or like I said, feel free to poke around the website while we're going through these. Players may not be on the roster for two different teams or divisions. All players must play in at least 60% of all regular season games to be eligible to participate in playoffs, excluding documented medical circumstances. In the case of medical circumstances, the town city director is expected to keep documentation and notify the NCMS board by email. The NCMS board will notify all teams if a player is ineligible to participate in the playoffs. At the end of the NCMS regular season, all official scorebooks will be made available to check by the NCMS board if there are any reports of foul play. Issues need to be brought to the attention of the board in writing by the town and city director before the playoff schedule is set. A date will be determined at the NCMS kickoff meeting each year. A player must play for the town in which they reside unless that town does not offer a team at their age level. Some exceptions apply and must be approved by the NCMS board of directors. Tie vote is decided by the past NCMS board director or the chief umpire if the past director has left the league before a player is rostered and able to play. When rosters are submitted to the NCMS league, each director must know any waivers granted by the local league for playing in another town, playing, oops, that just went up in a younger division, etc. Any questions on that? All right. Game cancellation and makeup games. Game cancellations and makeup games. In the event of inclement weather, it is the home team manager's responsibility to initiate the communication process for game cancellation. Should be before 4:15 at a minimum on weekdays, 1 hour and 45 minutes before game time on weekends. The manager will contact the opposing manager and umpire when cancellations occur. If a game needs to be called for inclement weather, the two managers will have 3 days or 72 hours to reschedule the game and 14 days to play the game. If after 3 days the game has not been rescheduled, the softball directors for each town will get involved. The teams can switch field and move a game to another town to ensure the game is played within 14 days. If a game that has been called due to weather cannot be made up, and every reasonable attempt has been made to reschedule the game before the 14 days or at the end of the season, if within 14 days of the close of the season, then it's recorded as a 1-1 tie. If a manager wants to reschedule a game for a reason other than weather, the manager can request to reschedule the game with the opposing manager as long as the rescheduled game is within 14 calendar days of the original game. If they cannot work out a new date, then the game will be played when scheduled. If a manager cannot field a team on the scheduled date or work out a new date, then that game will be considered a forfeit and recorded as a 6-0 loss in the forfeiting for the forfeiting team. Except in 16U will be recorded as a 7-0 loss. And just to touch on that,
The audio wasn't working.
the last couple of years, we've had issues, I think, primarily at 10U level, but others as well, of rescheduled games not being made up in time. And then it ends up moving to the end of the season and games still aren't made up. Playoff brackets aren't able to be created. It just causes a whole whirlwind of problems with getting playoffs rolling. So we really have to be mindful of these rules, especially. And if you have to step in as a director to make sure a game happens, or if it has to be, recorded as a tie or a forfeit, then we've got to do it. But obviously make the best effort to make the game happen. Any questions on that?
Just to re-emphasize what I wrote in the chat, games should be played in light to moderate rain. So
Yeah.
only in the event that there's a heavy rain or you just can't make the field safe, should you cancel a game. Wait as long as you possibly can to cancel it and do everything you can. This is springtime in New England. It's going to rain. It's going to rain a lot.
Yeah.
So that just do everything possible to get those games in. Don't go, it'll be wet. The weather will be nice in a couple of days. We'll try again. Just get it in.
Right.
Do whatever you can.
And sometimes I found, this happened last year. It was pouring in Athol, but the sun was shining in Townsend. So the game happened. We were shocked. We just couldn't believe it wasn't raining there because it seemed to be raining everywhere else.
That is extremely common that our from east to west of the NCMS league is quite a distance, and be bright and sunny all day on one side and pouring the other side. So don't expect that just because it's raining at home that the game's not on.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, sportsmanship code. The Babe Ruth sportsmanship code is develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsman-like conduct. Develop an understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance, and modesty in victory. develop control over emotions and speech, develop a spirit of cooperation and teamwork, develop into real, true citizens in the NCMS League. Players and coaches are required to maintain a sense of fair play and be respectful of opposing players, coaches, and spectators at all times. Players, coaches, and spectators will not question or criticize umpire calls and will only positively speak to umpires. Don't run at, yell at, degrade, touch, or argue a call loudly or at length with an umpire. After a play, the head coach may call and receive time, walk to the umpire that made the call, and ask a rule question if inappropriate, in an appropriate tone and with appropriate body language and behavior. There is a zero tolerance policy for disrespectful or inappropriate interactions. Well, this doesn't apply to 12U, so I probably don't need to read the junior umpire. Players, coaches, and spectators are not allowed to attempt to distract an opposing player at any time during the game, whether they're pitching, fielding, or hitting. This includes negative chants, cheers, and taunts. Coaches are expected to keep behaviors in check and listen to the songs chants coming from their dugout. Complaints about sportsmanship during interleague play should be made in writing to the NCMS League Board, and disciplinary action may include, but is not limited to, immediate ejection from the game, a written warning, probation, and or suspension of an individual or team. We have COVID-19 rules still listed here. The NCMS League will follow applicable federal, state, and Babe Ruth laws and guidelines related to the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't know the answer to that, Eric. Are junior umpires able to umpire a game with a patched umpire? Keith, do you know?
Technically, yes. So you need to have a patched umpire. If you want to have a junior umpire working with them, you're welcome to do that. But that's the hometown is going to be paying for that, so that's a hometown decision.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to teach junior umpires to have them do it with a seasoned umpire.
Okay. All right, unless there's any other questions, we can move on to the 12U rules. Okay. All right, so innings, 6 innings, ball size, 12-inch ball, optic yellow, raised seams. I should note that the document serves to clarify some of the more important rules of softball and to emphasize the philosophy and goals of our league. Unless noted in this document, the Babe Ruth rules will be followed for all games. So same for 12U and 16U, typical schedule for weeknight games, 5:30 warm-ups for the home team, 5:45 warm-up for visitor team, 6 p.m. review, ground rules with the managers and umpire, 6 p.m. play ball, 6:15 grace period ends, must have at least 8 players or the game will be a forfeit. Team managers should exhibit good sportsmanship about the grace period before each game, review and discuss ground rules and play times with the umpire and the other team manager. Okay. No new inning shall start after 1 hour and 45 minutes from the start of the game. Per Babe Ruth rules, no game shall last longer than 2.5 hours. The umpire makes the final determination of when the game ends. On weekends, when there are no field schedule conflicts, the managers of both teams can agree to play past the 1 hour and 45-minute time limit. This must be discussed and agreed to before the beginning of the game. Whenever possible, coaches should attempt to play to the natural end of the game. If the score is tied at the end of regulation play, extra innings may be played within the time limits stated above. If the time limit is reached, the game will end in a tie. Any questions about the game length? Okay. Lineup shall be exchanged as soon as possible. Home team provides 2 game balls. At all levels, the pitcher, first baseman, and third baseman must wear a fielder's face shield. Emphasis needs to be on teaching the fielder how to cover the base and players how to slide. All divisions avoid contact if the play is at the base or runners out if they initiate contact with the fielder. When the inning run limit has been reached, the play continues until its natural end. Don't have players walk off the field in the middle of the play. Any runs scored after the inning limit do not count. Any team may not steal once they are up by 10 runs. Metal cleats are not permitted in the 12U division. Only rubber cleats will be permitted. Protests for major and senior only. The team managers and the umpire should make every attempt to resolve any conflict and continue the game. If a resolution cannot be reached, the head coach must inform the umpire before leaving the field. The NCMS league director should be notified as soon as possible. Protests will follow Babe Ruth rules. Any questions on those few rules? Okay, the mercy rule. 5 runs per inning except the 6th inning and beyond, which is unlimited. If after 3 innings or later, the next inning is going to be the last, then it can be unlimited if agreed upon by both managers and the umpire. So that's important for during the week games when most likely you won't hit your 6 innings. Make sure that you agree with the umpire and the other manager if that's going to be your unlimited inning. Pitching distance is 40 feet from the back tip of home plate. Pitchers are limited to 9 pitch innings per calendar week, Monday through Sunday per Babe Ruth. Coaches are encouraged to use more than 1 pitcher per game. Continuous batting order. All players will be placed in the batting lineup and bat in their appropriate slot, whether they are currently playing a defensive position or not. Okay, someone has a question about pitching distance. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, thanks. So I know we talked about this in our board meeting and everything when we were discussing, with middle school players and stuff. If a girl plays on the middle school team, is she allowed to pitch from the 43 feet if there's a pitch and rubber there? Because it screws. Can it be the coach's discretion and the umpire's discretion? Why not?
So you've got kids that are batting that are expecting the ball to be coming at a certain timing. So that would you screw.
I don't buy that. That we can't do that because it screwed up my pitcher last year and it's going to screw up again this year. So she's better. I want to keep her at 43 feet so she can maintain consistency. Otherwise, she's going to get messed up. And I don't buy that it's going to mess up a batter's timing.
So
if she's fast, she's fast. If she's slow, she's slow.
Jason, let's take it to the next board meeting. So it
doesn't. No, we need to have a resolution because this is part of the rule. So we need to know if it could be talked about with the coaches ahead of time or not.
So it would roll back to the Babe Ruth because we don't have a specific rule for it. It's going to roll back to the Babe Ruth rules. And
the Babe Ruth rules isn't that 43 feet? This is a modified rule.
Right. Babe Ruth doesn't give you the option to move based on pitcher.
Aren't these all modified rules, not Babe Ruth rules?
These are modified off of the base Babe Ruth, but if it's not in here, it rolls back to the Babe Ruth rules.
Okay, so I have to look at what the Babe Ruth is.
No, what he's saying is it's in here. If it wasn't in here, we'd roll back to the Babe Ruth rules.
So this says pitching distance.
So what is the Babe Ruth rules?
So, but pitching distance here is 40 feet. So that's the rule.
This is the rule that stands.
Right.
Okay.
Right now, unless we change it at the next board meeting, is what Keith's saying.
Yeah. So the 40 feet.
Yeah. Okay. No, that we definitely have to bring that up because that's going to mess up pitchers.
I mean, it's hard, but it's there for a reason. And there are some girls that aren't playing town, because of stuff like this, I would have to guess. And it is a tough thing, but it's an adjustment.
I have another pitcher that I want her to be at 10 feet or the 40 feet because of her development. But the girls that are already developed and are used to it, I don't think it's fair for them to have to go up and get inconsistent and get all screwed up. You can move on.
Okay. Let's see, where was I? Mandatory play. Every player on a team will participate in each game for a minimum of 6 defensive outs. Players may be entered or re-entered defensively in the game anytime, provided they meet the conditions of mandatory play. Stealing. A runner may steal as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. Bunting is allowed. The maximum number of players in the field is 9 at any time. Drop third strike rule. The batter can advance to first base after passed drop ball on the third strike providing number one, first base is not occupied before the pitch, or number two, first base is occupied with 2 outs. Runners may advance from first base at their own risk of out if desired. Does that make sense? Okay. If a player becomes injured after safely reaching a base, a courtesy runner may be put in to run for the injured player. The courtesy runner must be the player who made the last out. If the injured player is unable to run on their own, they will be removed from the batting order for the remainder of the game. Any questions on that? Okay. If a player becomes injured, did I just read that one? Sorry. Patch umpires will be scheduled for these games. In the event the umpire does not show up, a parent or league representative knowledgeable of the rules can umpire the game if agreed upon by both managers. If during a game either team is unable to field 8 players, whether due to injury, ejection, etc., the game will end at that point and that team will forfeit the game. If a game is called due to darkness or weather in an incomplete inning, the score will revert to the last full inning of play. The game must be 4 innings to be considered a complete game, 3.5 innings if the home team is up. Players must slide or avoid contact to be called out when the play is at home plate and when a play is being made. Example, the catcher flips the ball to the pitcher. Must slide or avoid contact or be called out when the play is at second or third and the fielder is in possession of the ball. Any questions on any of those? Is that everything for 12? Okay.
I've just got a quick question on it. I got a question from a player yesterday on she had like bracelets and necklaces and just kind of like some jewelry. I don't know if it's mentioned anywhere in here.
It would roll back to Babe Ruth rules. So Babe Ruth rules don't actually allow you to wear jewelry, necklaces, any of that stuff. So while it's typically not always enforced, but they're not supposed to be wearing any of it. Nothing reflective, anything that can be grabbed or dragged. So that's one of those ones that would roll back to the official Babe Ruth rules, which has that in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we all set to go on to 16U? Okay, so same thing. This document serves to clarify some of the more important rules of softball and to emphasize the philosophy and goals of our league. Unless noted in this document, the Babe Ruth rules will be followed for all games. Innings are 7 innings, ball size 12-inch ball, optic yellow racing. Everything's the same with regard to the schedule for weeknight games. Let's see, same thing with no new inning shall start after 1 hour and 45 minutes from the start of the game. Nothing's changed there. Make sure before the beginning of the game that you discuss everything that you need to discuss and make a decision then. If the score is tied at the end of regulation play, extra innings may be played within the time limit stated above. If the time limit is reached, the game will end in a tie. Lineups shall be exchanged as soon as possible. Home team provides 2 game balls as specified in the age bracket. At all levels, the pitcher, first baseman, and third baseman must wear a fielder's face shield. Sorry, everything's pretty much the same. Emphasis needs to be on teaching the fielder how to cover the base and players how to slide. All divisions avoid contact if play is at the base or runners out if they initiate contact with the fielder. When the inning run limit has been reached, the play continues to its natural end. Don't have players walk off the field in the middle of the play. Any runs scored after the inning limit do not count. A team may not steal once they are up by 10 runs. Metal cleats are permitted in 16U division. Same thing with protests, major and senior. Make sure that the team manager and the umpire make every attempt to resolve a conflict and continue the game. If it can't be, a resolution can't be reached, get in touch with the league director as soon as possible. Mercy rule is 5 runs per inning, except the 7th inning and beyond, which is unlimited. If after 4 innings or later, the next inning is going to be the last, it can be unlimited if agreed upon by both managers and the umpire. A game is an official complete game if the team is winning by 15 or more runs after the completion of 3 or 4 innings, or winning by 10 or more runs after 5 innings. At that time, the game is officially over and the score is frozen. The contest may continue as the scrimmage provided the time limit rule is not met and the both teams coaches agree. Pitching distance for 16U, 43 feet from the back tip of home plate. Pitchers are limited to 9 pitched innings per calendar week, Monday through Sunday, or 12 if 3 games in 1 week. So that's important. If you have 3 games in a week, you can pitcher can pitch for 12 innings. Continuous batting order. All players will be placed in the batting lineup and bat in their appropriate slot, whether they are currently playing a defensive position or not. Mandatory play. Every player on the team will participate in each game for a minimum of 6 defensive outs. Coaches may substitute players in and out of the game and from position to position freely as long as they meet the conditions of mandatory play. Stealing. A runner can leave the base to advance as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. Drop third strike rule. Batter can advance to first base after pass drop ball on third strike, providing number 1, first base is not occupied before the pitch, or 2, first base is occupied with 2 outs. Runners may advance from first base at their own risk of out if desired. Same rule, if a player becomes injured, a courtesy runner must be the player who made the last out. If that injured player is unable to run on her own, she will be removed from the batting order for the remainder of the game. Patched umpires will be scheduled for these games. In the event the umpire does not show up, a parent or league representative knowledgeable of the rules can umpire the game if agreed upon by both managers. If during a game either team is unable to field 8 players, whether due to injury, ejection, etc., the game will end at that point and that team will forfeit the game. If a game is called due to darkness or weather in an incomplete inning, the score will revert to the last full inning of play. A game must go 5 innings to be considered a complete game, 4.5 if the home team is winning. Players must slide if there is a play at second, third, or home plate. The runner is out if she does not slide when the fielder at one of these bases in possession of the ball. Okay. Any questions on all of that? Okay. Anyone else have anything to add?
I have a quick comment just on
Go
the
ahead.
last rule, which I totally agree with. I feel like early in the season we talked to the umps just to have remind the girls that they
Okay.
have to slide because
Okay.
they were still maybe not doing it naturally. So the umps were pretty understanding, I think, early in the season.
Okay.Maybe gave you a warning or
Yeah,
something along those lines.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we asked the ump to just do that because the girls were just still getting used to I mean, they should know, but
Right.
it was good to get them in the habit.
Okay.
All right. This is like we were saying, this is our new website. And it's very nice to have the rules on it. We also have in the same rule area, let's see, where did I start this off from? Resources is sorry, where you'll find the rules, and then we have playoff information as well as all-star information. And I'm gonna let Keith take over in a few minutes, but this is something I noticed about Tabe's website that's really great is the coaches meetings. You can refer back to them. It's just good to, I know my brain forgets things, so to come back here and look through. But yeah, that's the general resource area, and then I'm probably going to let Keith take over and show us more of our new website. It seems a lot easier and nice to have things in one place.
All right, let me start. I'll start sharing.
Oh, I have to stop right.
Sharing.
It's boring.
Did it work?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, so this year NCMS has a brand new website. We got kind of caught off guard. The old website, we found out that they're shutting down at the middle of May, which is in the middle of our season. So we scrambled and we were able to get Crossbar to donate the site to us. So we got the site up and running at no cost to the league. So we got it all up and running. So I'm going to walk through some of the different parts that are going to be important for you to know. Let's start with some of the simple stuff, kind of the navigation here. When you come in, you're going to land here. It's going to show you any of the news feeds. You're going to get some upcoming events. Some of the first things that you want to see in here, under the About, the first thing that's going to really matter to you is our facilities. When you click on this, you'll see every one of the different fields that we play at, including the addresses, including a link to the Google Maps for those particular sites, for those facilities. Other things that are important, I'm just going to show you the Wall of Fame. So we're going to start keeping track of this as we go through, and you will see every year we're going to keep a picture and the players' names of who won the previous years, and we're going to keep that long term. So hopefully, 10 years from now, kids, they're now parents and they're coming back and they're seeing their old pictures from when they played. So we're pretty excited about this. We just need to get some missing information filled in, but we're going to try to work on that. It's one of the things we want to do with the new site. Shifting over under the resources, which is over here on the right, you're going to see all the different rules. The most rules that are going to be most important are the stuff that we went through tonight, which are different individual rules by division. You'll see some specific rules in the playoffs. You'll also find all the information on our All-Star game. All the details about where it is, how it's going to be played out, all that fun stuff is listed here. Most of it's a copy from last year, so it's still going to be tweaked a little bit. Last thing on here, as was mentioned earlier, you'll see the coaches' meetings, and I will be uploading both the recordings for the last meeting and this one onto this page, probably early tomorrow morning. So hopefully those will be updated, so you can always come in and rewatch this wonderful pile of information. All right, so the more important things is your teams. So today, everybody got an email from me saying with a link to your individual teams. Why did we do that? Because this is how you're going to put in your scores. This is how you're going to manage your schedules. So if you click on teams up here, you're going to see all the different teams that we have. I put in a test division with some test teams so that we can kind of see and play around with this a little bit. So I'm going to go into this particular test team. And when you come into a teams page, you're going to see the week ahead, any games that they have listed. You'll be able to see the contact information for the team. We don't use rosters here, so that's going to be ignored. You'll be able to click on games, and you'll be able to see your entire schedule. We hope to have the real schedule, fully loaded in the next day or two. But when you see that, you will see your entire schedule listed here. I'm going to come back to this page in a minute, but I'm going to go through some of the other ones really quick. If I click on league contacts, this is going to show you the coaching information for all the different teams in your division. Obviously, this is a test division, so there's only 2 teams, so you can basically see just the contact information for these two teams. Once all of you have accepted your invites for your divisions, you will be able to see this, and this is how you'll be able to get in touch with the other coaches for the other teams for talking about weather cancellations or reschedules or anything like that. The next button down here is called staff. By default, it's going to have the head coach here. You as the coach, you can also hit this add staff member. If you hit this button, this will allow you to add your assistant coaches. You don't have to do this, but this will add their information to the system as well. It will also give them the ability to be able to put in scores and put requests in for schedule changes. When you go to make a staff change, you just put their email address in, pick what role. Any of these roles you can put. If you want to have some other random name, you could just put other and then just type whatever that happens to be. All of these roles will give them the same permissions as the head coach. The last thing on here is settings. What this is this is the privacy settings, but it's really, really important. You put public email and phone number. If you do not put public email and phone number, your information will not be available to the other coaches. This is the only way they can see your information. So if you hear, hey, this coach couldn't get in touch with me, I'm on the website, I see my name, it's probably because you got your privacy settings wrong. Make sure you have the right setting here and they will be able to see it. So I'm going to go back up 2 games here. Before I click on some of the buttons, was there any questions on the general setup, the stuff that I just went through before we go into some of the more technical stuff?
I'm going to ask my question out loud.
Fire away.
Should we have all of that right now for our team?
What do you mean by all of it?
So like my menu on the left, I have home, roster, games, league contacts. I do not have staff or settings.
Which team are you?
I am Ash West 16U.
Which one?
So number one. Yeah, and when I click league contacts, it says permission denied. So it might be a personal problem for me.
So yeah, so what this is, so the fact that it's not on here, you haven't accepted your invite yet.
I did. Okay, I'll do it again.
So chances are.
So, Emily, I just did mine. I thought I accepted the invite, but then there was another button after I logged in to accept the invite again. So that might have been maybe.
Okay.
So
okay.
if you are logged in, if you click on account up here in the top left, you will see something right in here as soon as you log in here. I think you might have to click on Teams. There'll be a thing here that says invite, accept, or decline.
Oh man, all right, I'm doing it again. Okay, so there must be like one more step after you accept. So I guess we can see if everybody else has the same issue.
I'm going to put in another link really quick. Hold on.
Do you want me to resend it, Emily, or?
No, I mean, I have it. I'm on the page. I hit accept.
So, this is a different site, but I wrote this up for this site and I just haven't copied it over yet.
Okay.
So this is for the baseball site, but it's the exact same system. So this walks you through every step by step to get to how to do it. Just change the Mac logo with the NCMS one. So
I did it. I hit accept as well. Do you have to do the plus new participant even after you're logged in?
Yes.
You do have to click yourself too. Like that's what I didn't do, and I didn't save. You have to click your own name and then like accept again.
Okay.
Yeah. You're the participant in the program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if there's nobody listed there, you have to add yourself in, put your birth date and stuff.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Emily, that should work if you do that.
I'm doing it right now. Yeah, that must be.
Yeah, I see that in menu now. Yep. Cool.
Ta-da!
Excellent. Glad we walked through it. And that's why we do this. All right. So any other questions before I jump into scoring and scheduling? All right. Awesome. So this is a test schedule here with some games some fake games that I put in just so you can see the process working. So as you can see, there's already one game that was, there's 2 games that were completed. And there's a game here that was done on April 12th that it's got 2 options, score or reschedule. So because this game is in the past, the score button shows up. This game here is in the future, so the score button is not there. So the game ends, you have to score your game. And you can do this on your phone, on the web app, very easily. So you don't have to worry about logging into the website from home on a desktop. You can literally do it from the parking lot if you want. Just come in, hit score, and then just put in the score. 5, 4, save. That's it. That's the only thing you have to do in order to score a game. And then it's going to go through and it will calculate up, and I'll show you the team standings and all that stuff automatically after. Sometimes you will go in here and the score's already there. That's because the coach of the other team beat you to it. So whoever gets there first can put in the score, and it doesn't have to be both. So typically the home team tries to get in there and do it, but it doesn't have to be. So home or away can go in and do it, and then it'll be done. So make sure you try to do that pretty quickly. But let's say one of 2 options. Either the game has to be rescheduled that day, or it's a game in the future that you're rescheduling. So you have the option here, and this was on the same one here that we scored. Just hit reschedule. And then the reason for request, just pick whatever reason. Honestly, these are pretty much useless. They're just data points. So pick whatever you want. Change type. This is the one that matters. So if you pick reschedule, this is going to give you, this will walk through in a second. So if you pick postpone, all it's going to do is just mark it postponed, and you can come in and reschedule it again later. If you cancel it, it's just going to delete the game. Okay. But the reschedule is the more important one. So we're going to click reschedule. What you can do here is you're going to write, why are you rescheduling this game? Whatever reason you have, put it in. You're going to put what date you want to have the game, what time, the duration, and where the game is going to be. Hopefully you've already talked to the other coach and they're already in agreement with you about the change. Once you put this in and hit save, the game is not immediately changed. An email then gets sent to the other coach, and the other coach has to review it and accept it. So once they accept it, it will come to one of the league admins, and then that will actually push the change into the system. So it requires both coaches to acknowledge the change and the board to actually accept the change. The board's always going to accept it if both coaches agreed. So just as long as both coaches are on the same page. Thing to keep in mind, if you go to reschedule it and the other coach doesn't agree with you, the game is not going to get rescheduled, and the original schedule is going to stand. So that means if you can't make that game, whatever the original schedule is, stands. So if you don't show up, you're forfeiting. But that's really the extent of how to score and reschedule. This should be the most of what you have to actually do every season. Now, when you put all this information in, who's winning, who's running the divisions, all that fun stuff. Under divisions here, I'm going to go into the division for the test one I did. You can click on that. You can click on your division, and you're going to see by default, it'll show any of the games that were scheduled for today. It will show a basic standings. You can also click here on the scoreboard, and you can go back and you can look at the scores for any day in the past. There'll obviously be more than just one game here. You'll see every game across the whole league. It will look out into the future if this game's scheduled in the future. So like this game here hasn't been played, so you can see it's still scheduled there. So that's the scoreboard. You can click on schedule, and this will show you a dump of every game coming up in the future. Standings is probably where you're going to spend most of your time, and this is going to show you the official standings for your division. And it will track this all for the regular season. This is all done automatically. You don't have to do anything. Just by putting in your scores, it will automatically update everything here. As we get towards the postseason, so if you remember in the past, it's been kind of convoluted. We had these weird picture images that we were hacking as we were going along, and we were asking who won this game, who won that game. And it was kind of a pain in the butt for everybody. Nobody knew what was going on. This system manages it all for us automatically. So all you'll do is you'll come in here to brackets, and well, we don't have a bracket yet because there's no games yet, but I'm going to show you an example. So this is a different, so this is my hometown's program, and you can see this is a bracket, and this league will look exactly like this. So you will see all the different things, and basically you'll have a score button here. You'll be able to come in and score your games, and you'll see it automatically move down. Everything will be all pre-done, ready to go for you. So you don't have to worry about, oh crap, what happened with that game? You won't have to wait for it. Everything will be here ready for you. So that's the new changes. Any questions I can help answer on the website. It's pretty slick, so I hope it works well for everybody. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help out. Or reach out to anybody on the board, and we can coordinate and help you on that. Questions on the website before I hand it back over to Sarah and Elaine for general questions?
Looks great.
Yeah. He's not giving himself enough credit for doing this as quickly as he did when we were told that the website
was a lot of info in there.
Ending. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome.
We scrambled to make sure we didn't get screwed in the middle of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been awful to start scoring games and have everything in one system and then have to figure out how to convert it, that would
Right.
be awful. So
Yep,
thankfully
sure.
Crossbar was willing to donate this at no cost. So
Yeah.
this is
Awesome.
something that's $70 a month. So
Oh, wow.
we got it for
That's
nothing.
awesome.
So
Elaine, do you still have your printout of the
Yes.
I think it was, even if you go back to 10U, I think it was between number 25 and 26 was our rule that we got added this year with the intentional walk.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Do you want to, did you find that?
Let me look real quick. Oh, yeah. Intentional walks. When a team elects to intentionally walk a batter, the manager or coach shall notify the plate umpire. The plate umpire shall award first base without any pitches thrown.
So we have to add that in to the website. But yeah, it's 10U, 12U, 16U.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Just to save the pictures there.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, anybody else, any questions, anything? Yeah, good, great.
Keith and Sarah, can you hang on so we can chat with Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Thanks
your
all.
time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
You're dismissed.